Welcome to the NDE World Podcast, where we explore the magical, mystical and spiritual world of near-death experiences. And now, Ashton Lewis and Daphne Lynn.
Welcome back to the NDE World Podcast. I am your host, Ashton Lewis, and I have with me in the studio today my lovely hostess, Miss Daphne Lynn. Good morning, Miss Daphne Lynn. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How about you?
I'm awesome. Ready to jump back into this actual episode on the topic of the church calling things evil that may be more of something natural that we're all, a part of, if that makes any sense. But I don't want to give it away just yet. But it is a continuation. And
this is episode 3
I think
from
this is 3 so
right?
far. Yeah, 3 so far. And but it's really about, and you'll understand more about it, those of you who are just tuning in, and welcome, by the way, and those who are returning, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes.
But we're going to read the question here in a moment, and you'll see more about what we're talking about here. But it really has to do with how, how religion and spirituality, it's just one of those, situations where they're always, butting heads, and they're always jumping in a ring and boxing each other. Religion and spirituality, they do sometimes get along. Okay, sometimes they can sit down and have a drink together, but most of the time they're boxing, they're fighting. So anyway, let's just go ahead and jump right into it, Daphne, if you don't mind. And by the way, guys, don't forget to go to the actual website, the NDE .world.
NDE.world.
That's where we can get all the information, our podcast, and all the episodes that we do and different topics and things like that. So, okay, Miss Daphne, if you don't mind, go ahead and let's go and read the question just to kind of get it set up. It's kind of a question / statement. The person kind of letting us know what's going on, but, and then we'll go into the actual comments, and then we'll start commenting on the comments. How's that?
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Okay. So this person says, I had an NDE 4 years ago. I used to go to church, but I feel that it's off. The churches say that spiritualism is demonic, and so are vibrations, mediums, crystals, etc. But I feel it's comforting. I want to get into those things as when I had my NDE. I didn't feel God was what the church teaches. He loves us all. We are all connected. Nobody is any better or worse than another. I just feel it's better to tap into my chakras and meditate, and the church just doesn't do it for me. I leave feeling confused and off balance. It's hard to explain. During my NDE, I felt my soul vibrate and leave my body. I had some premonitions before I bled out in childbirth, and they all came true. I feel it's a gift, and the churches say that it's demonic, and I feel so depressed about it. I'm far from evil, so why is this gift I have had bad in the church's eyes? I sense loved ones that passed away, and I'm told this is the devil. I just don't think everything is what the church thinks and claims that it is. Not debating or anything, I'm just confused. I want to tap into spirituality, but I'm a little scared.
Okay. Any opening comments before we jump into the...
Well, like we said, the church is saying one thing about spiritual gifts, and this person apparently came back after the NDE with spiritual gifts. I mean, tapping into, being able to sense loved ones when they pass away, but yet, the church says, oh, that's the devil. It's conflicting. So we have to realize that there's the good and the bad out there in this, but these people come back with loving gifts and sharing things to help others. How in the world is that demonic when you're loving, serving, and helping another?
Right. Yeah. That's a very good point, Daphne. It's a very good point. And, just looking at this person's comment, I think they're kind of like saying a few different things here, but one of the things here, I think, the main things I'm taking away from this is really what each one of our concepts of what we call God is. The church has its own description of what it says God is. Okay,
yes.
God is this, God is that. God is only this one individual. And no, they'll even teach you what they call the Trinity, and that's not even that they're clueless when it comes to what the real Trinity is. That you're getting over to esoteric teachings that it's got nothing to do with Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. It does, but it doesn't. But it's not like that, like what they teach. Like the Trinity, things like that. But anyway, I don't want to go down that avenue, but that's their concept of God, and so if you get a certain concept of God, they can control that concept.
The punishing,
the whole
the one to be
reward.
fearful of, the wrathful and vengeful. Yeah. And that is so in conflict with all these people who have come back from having a near-death experience. It conflicts with what they were in the presence of. And the presence of this energy, this pure love essence, is not what the church is teaching is vengeful and wrathful. So you have those conflicting views of what quote unquote God is. So my belief system, I tend to lean toward the soul essence of love, not the vengeful, wrathful like the church has taught.
The true religion.
Right.
Love.
Exactly. That's what the true religion is.
It's love.
But most people are not aware of that.
Right. And if your religion or if your belief system is based on love, then more power to you. We're all in it with you. But here's the flip side of the coin here. You're not going to understand true love until you understand the concept of oneness.
Yes.
That's coming from experience.
Yes, and that is what I'm tying this in with what the person said, that God loves all of us, no matter what we've done in our past, our quote-unquote sins or mistakes.
Yeah.
He loves us regardless. And this person learned that we are all connected and that nobody is any better or worse than another.
All are loved.
Exactly.
Because
all are
all
one.
Are loved.
All are. She says all are connected. So
That's right.
we're all one.
Yeah.
When you can get into that oneness mindset
It's over.
and really
Yeah.
start putting the actions out there, if you're dealing with somebody and they're saying things that you don't agree with or yelling at you, just accept it as it is. Don't take it personal and retaliate, react.
Yeah.
In a negative way. Just let them be who they are and realize that person is going through whatever they're going through and they're just acting out. Let whoever it is be whoever it is.
Right. And, and the basis of most of this, what we're talking about here, these people are actually having real near-death experiences. And this is across the board, Daphne. And this is what's got me fascinated with it, for the longest now since we've been into this. This is across the board. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. I don't know the latest numbers. The last I heard it was like 60-something thousand from Dr. Jeffrey Long, one of his interviews, but it could be a million. I don't know. They're high numbers, but there's medical, records and documents and story after story after story after experience, and all people, all nations, all around the world, all races, all
no matter where
backgrounds,
you're from,
kids, children, middle age, old. People are having these experiences, and they're coming back with the same stories.
there's harmony in it.
That's exactly right. There's that synchronicity. There's harmony. So that to me resonates because you can take, I don't want to say Christianity, but we'll use Christianity. But you can even, I'll tell you what, you can even take Christianity itself and take one of its divisions because it's broken up into thousands, of different groups. You can take, say, a handful of those. Say, take 10. We'll take 10 people from 10 different Christian. Okay, I'm not talking about all the other religions out there. Say that and put them in a room and throw out some concept of theology, and before you know it, that room's going to get worked up into a fight. I've seen it happen
Because it's separation, it's division.
Have you thought why do you have so many different sects? sects. How many different groups of religions out there, especially of Christianity?
Yeah.
There's not one Christianity. Why are there, tons so many different ones, and every one of them are teaching different. However, they still have some of the basic foundations, but they're all conflicting. Why?
Yeah, when you go to breaking down their doctrines, each believe differently,
And it all crumbles.
And the thing with the people's experiences through NDEs, it is all in harmony.
That's the point. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what I was just trying to say. It's just, there's so much.
And I can believe in something like that.
Right.
It takes me to a whole other level than when I was practicing the Christianity.
Yeah.
And the brick and mortar. I mean, it really elevates your thinking and your reactions and actions to things when you can realize that you are one with everyone and everything on this planet.
Right. And you could still be a Christian, guys. There's nothing wrong with being a Christian.
Or any religion.
Some of the best people in the world or that I know of are people who are Christians or who practice that. However, I know some most wonderful people in the world who are Hindu and some who are Buddhist and some who are Wiccan and some who are, I mean, I know all kind of different people that have their own walks and their own ways. And I love and respect all of those guys, I don't try to push my beliefs on them,
And
sometimes I have people that I meet along the way that tries to share their views with me, and I'm understanding it and accepting it more than, let's say, like when I was a Christian or when I was practicing more of that kind of that world of religion. I guess I was more, I don't want to say shut off, but how are you going to come tell me, because I already have the truth. I already know.
Dogmatic approach.
Yeah. With a big old Cheshire cat smile on your face the whole time you're talking, yeah.
You're not operating out of the heart.
No. So it wasn't until I got out of that, and understood the concept of, whoa, this is, oneness.
Right.
We're all one. This is what all of these masters, including Jesus, these people taught, was oneness, that unity with the divine that is within all of us.
Yeah. And there's
Kingdom is
such
within
beauty in
you.
that. Yes. It's within you and without you. It is internal and external, because it's everything everywhere.
Right. So, well, now that we've got a little bit of a extra introduction there, let's go ahead and jump into the comments on today's question. All right, Miss Daphne, would you like to take that first one there?
Sure. It says, the churches are just fearful. They want total control over what you believe. They also don't want to be told that they are wrong, similar to the Pharisees in Jesus' time on earth. I mean, we got to remember, Jesus
was anti-religious.
went against the religious people. He was teaching a different way.
Yeah.
The way of the truth and the light, and was going against religion. Same thing. So many of these NDE eaters are talking about religion doesn't play a part of life.
It doesn't. So this person here says that churches are just fearful, which it's, a lot of people are, and a lot of groups are. They want control over what you believe. Now that has a lot to do with the world. If you want to know what's wrong with the world today, it's because we all have got belief systems that aren't empowering the majority. Most people's belief systems are destructive, and look around. It's
Tell you you're worthless.
Yeah.
I mean, like we said in one of the previous episodes, what gives me more control over you? Telling you you're a worthless sinner, or that you are a powerful creating God yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, think about it. Which one gives you and makes you feel a certain way? One lifts you up, the other oppresses you and puts you down.
That's pure psychology.
That's all it is.
Mind control is all it is.
Ding, ding, ding.
You can take, listen guys, let's keep this real. You can take two newborns, okay? Let's take two newborn children. We'll take two little guys, all right? And I've heard that they're probably doing tests like this. If they haven't, I'm sure, I've heard them doing all kind of tests, but I'm just going to throw something out there, just kind of hypothetical kind of stuff here. Let's take one child, and you're going to raise them in a fundamental religious upbringing. Okay. Mm-hmm. From day one, when the child starts to understand and you start throwing in the concepts of, God and life, death, or the devil, good, bad, because, when we get a certain age, we start to little questions start popping up, and we start making sense of our little minds, start forming our realities of our belief systems, and which is who we are as people. So we're going to take this one child, and we're going to from day one tell them, never give them any kind of credit. All right, never lift them up. Always tell them how worthless they are. I wouldn't say worthless, because I wouldn't say Christians call their children worthless. Okay, but raising them with the mindset that you are a sinner, because you're getting your authority from somebody, either your parents or the church or school or whatever. But anyway, in a religious sense, we're going to take this child here and just bring them up with that kind of understanding. You're a sinner. You're no good. You need to be saved. You've got to go through this, and you've got to do all kind of stuff that we don't. Just think about it. We don't come into the world with.
Right.
You got to understand this is all made up stuff over here. SMU, right?
SMU.
Yes. So that child's going to grow up with a certain mindset. Okay. Now we're going to take this other child, and we're going to raise them out in nature. Okay. All right. Living off the land, how to live off the land, how to be connected to Mother Earth, how to communicate with all of life. Let them know that, hey, you are a special gift of the divine, which is an actual spark of the divine itself. You are so special, and you're magical, and you can do anything that you put your mind to. You are so powerful. You can create anything. You are a God. Put your mind to it. Open up your eyes. Open up your mind. Open up your heart. Open up your spirit. You can do anything you want. And you tell that child that every day, every day. What's going to happen to that child when both of these children become young teenagers? Okay? Mm-hmm. Not even young teenagers. Heck, 4 or 5 years old when they first start developing that personality in your first 7 years. Your first 7 years are supposed to be who you're going to be the rest of your life.
Exactly.
But you can change. But there is a major influence, from my understanding. But long story short, let's bring both of those guys up in a modern day age. Whatever you pick the age. You pick them in normal functioning out in life age. Late teens, early 20s. Having to function and deal with reality. Or what about their spirituality when they're, what is it going to do? I mean, what kind of people will you have here?
Oh, yeah.
And we have that in reality. I don't know if you ever get a chance, look into a lot of the like the Shaolin, Tibetan monks, and these guys these little kids, when they're old enough to even stand up, I've seen them. They've got like these bricks on them, and they're stretching their legs out like that. And these kids are like straining and like in tears, and they're training them at an age when they're to be disciplined, to have a certain mindset, and they grow up to be just the most. Yeah, you have to see what the most incredible of. They are the most of all human beings, are the most outstanding, disciplined. What those people can do. That's the Shaolin.
Yeah.
Just get a chance to look that up. So anyway, long story short, and then you have stuff like religion, like Christianity. Okay, over here in the West, especially in the United States, but all over the world, but Christianity is the number one religion. Yeah,
that's what they teach.
They teach that you are a sinner. What? Okay, so now we got a world
You're
of
unworthy.
sinners. You're unworthy. Yeah. So,
what does that do into your psyche?
Look just look around, guys. So which world did we grow up in? Look around. I'm talking about, I'm not even, so you don't have to answer this, anybody, whoever's listening. Look around at the world right now and ask yourself, which one was raised the way, what are the results? Look at the results around us, and how can you ask yourself, how were these people raised?
Right.
Because if you have a world of consciously spiritual individuals mindful of who they are, and at an early age,
and their actions with everything and everyone around them.
That's right. At that early age is where it starts. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it takes a discipline. It is a discipline and a responsibility on the parents and on the family and on the children, and it goes on and on. That's how you get the world back where it needs to be.
Start pouring pure love.
You've got to. But today, look at the world. You wonder why it's in the shape it's in. What's most parents I see today, they have no control over their children. They don't want to even raise their children. First thing they do, children starts acting up, they'll stick a cell phone in their hand. Here, go play on the phone. Whoa. Mm-hmm.
Because we have children raising children.
You got children raising children. Yeah.
The responsibility is for the elders.
Absolutely.
child raising
In
to
the,
instill the life's lessons that are supposed to be taught.
correct.
But we have children raising children, and it's gone amok because of that.
Right, and that's my understanding as well. I remember with the Conversations book.
Exactly, that's
Neil
exactly
covers
what
a
I'm
lot of
referencing.
that all of your major successful tribal groups,
The best societies on
the
Earth,
best
on this
societies
planet.
on Earth, the elders raise the children. Okay, the young have their children, but the young are going to be working for the most part, and doing what they're
And
doing.
they have their children with
and
them
they have
in their
their
home,
children,
but
yes.
it's the responsibility of the elders to teach
them the way and the wisdom and things like that, and
Yes.
teach their children as well, so the children can be teaching them. But
yeah.
but nowadays we have so that's going to throw everything off balance, because you're going to have a world of just out of control kids.
Yeah, and when you have according to the book, when you have the elders raising these children in these societies, you don't have the crimes and the violence that other areas
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah,
You see unity in that.
Right.
Because the elders are doing the teaching and
They're-
raising of the young.
They are, yeah, and that could be a lesson for anybody out there, and if you can get the parents to pitch in, and yes, parents, it's our responsibility as grandparents as well to help and assist any way we can. It goes back to really getting the grasp of family. A lot of us have gotten away from the concept of family. We should all be there for each other, but
Yes.
the way the world's set up right now, it's
It starts
I get
breaking
it.
things down
really
early,
does.
early.
To go with that thought earlier, just think about how children are supposed to be with their parents and with their families all of their lives.
Unity,
okay?
family.
Look in our world, modern world, especially here in the United States. What happens when they get just a few years of age? The state comes and snatches them up and throws them in schools. You got to be educated. You got to be indoctrinated. You got to go be put into these education systems that God knows you don't need to learn any of this garbage that we've all grown up to supposed to be learning. You just got to learn how to be.
the education.
It don't hurt to read. You learn reading. I mean, that's a skill because
Right.
But I mean, in the real world, you don't need to know any of that. But let's say in the modern day world, okay, there's a lot of things that you don't need to know. But reading would be one. I would say reading, spelling, things like that, and basic math. I would say arithmetic. So like adding, subtraction, multiplication if you can, division, but all of these things with like the trigonometries and the algebras and the stuff that I can't even pronounce the words and say and this and that, and historical stuff that you don't even know if it's even true. There's, everybody knows that the winners rewrite history. So
yeah.
so you're getting all this garbage put in your head of they're just really totally changing this person. So even that, like I said, even the education system. So we got a lot of work to do.
Oh yeah, well, we'll get there.
But we are growing. There is an awakening right now. So.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There is enlightening happening.
Yes. So let's go to the next one here. It says, it took me a few years to come to terms and to be okay with the quote unquote gifts. I was raised Orthodox Christian, and it's considered quote unquote evil. But after my NDE, my near-death experience, it was evident beyond a reasonable doubt that what the church is teaching is far from truth, unfortunately. Anything that is divisive is not of God. That's the most powerful statement I've heard all day.
Mm-hmm.
If you stand strong in your belief and faith in Source, or what we call God, as it was revealed to you, for me, that takes precedence.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like this person says here, if you've had an actual real, experience where you've experienced that, divine or that what we call God, that source, then like he says here, stand strong for that. That should be your belief and your faith, and don't be worried about like what it says here, like the church calling everything evil and things like that,
And and this is a very common thing that I have seen over and over and over again, is many people who have NDEs come back with spiritual gifts.
Yep.
That they did not have before they had their experience. So you're tapping into that divine. You're tapping into source, that all-knowing, that all-love. And then, of course, why would you not come back with spiritual insights or spiritual gifts to be able to serve better than what you were before?
Yeah, yeah. And, really to go with that thought, and like we had mentioned on earlier episodes, I understand the perspective, of the church as well, because I believe anything can be used for anything. And I believe that you can take anything, energy itself and use it in a destructive way just as much as you can a constructive way. And I do know in my life of studies and just being that, many, 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 many case after case after case of that, there is evil in the world, and there is a lot of destructive stuff, and people have done destructive things with a lot of this stuff, So like crystals, for example. Crystals have a really bad rep, but crystals are rocks. They're not rocks. They're living, stones, or they're crystals. They're their own thing. I don't know what you call that. What's that actual term for crystals? There's so many different. Yeah, so they're their own thing, but they're alive.
Gemstones, crystals.
Yeah, so there's nothing inherently bad or evil about it. Okay.
Even in the. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I was just going to say that just inherently bad. It's what you do with it, and that's with anything. You can take anything and use it for good or use it for bad.
Right, and like you were saying about crystals, that they do have a bad rap according to Christian theology.
Correct. That's right.
But in nature, the law, it is nature. God created this. It has energy. It produces energy. Exactly. And some people can feel that energy. Yeah. Even in the Gospel of the Nazarenes, Yeshua, when he was on his journeys, learning and growing all these beautiful, wonderful things, that was part of what he learned. The magic of the crystals.
He did. Yeah, yeah.
How they work, what they're good for. I mean, goodness me.
And that's how you can look at it, guys. This is nature. These are natural. You cannot curse. Why do you want to curse God? You're cursing God when you curse nature. That's just the way it works. So who are you, or who was the church, who was anybody on earth to say what is evil? Okay? Now, there is positive, negative. There's, that constructive, destructive. You can take energy and manipulate it in any way. That's the point.
Use it the way you choose.
But energy itself is not good or bad. You see, it's not evil. Now, can it be used? What about, here's your modern day example, the internet. Is the internet good or bad?
Right.
Neither. Internet's a tool. Can it be used for good? Absolutely. I spend, at least an hour a day on research, alone on the internet, Most of my work is in the studio. I'm a producer, but as far as my online work, yeah, at least an hour a day.
That's what you do with it.
Yeah, it's what you do with it. Now, can the internet be used for harmful?
Oh, yeah.
For destructive, for immoral, for anything what we would consider dark or evil or bad? Absolutely, yeah. But is it bad? No. So the same concept here, where the church is calling these things evil, where it's up to you whether you want to be cursed by the church and believe
what
it's
do you
evil.
Believe that exactly? What is your belief in something?
That's right. Do you believe it's evil? Do you believe? And what is your intention? It's okay, I'm going to get this and I'm going to use this for evil.
Okay, and then really stop and break this down. If you're believing in evil, what makes it evil? Question these things. Question things, people. We're taught not to question anything, just to live and believe this in blind faith.
Right. Good question. Like I said, what makes it evil?
Question everything. Grow as a soul. Mm-hmm. If you're not questioning anything, how are you growing?
You're not growing.
Thank you.
You're still being spoon-fed. Many people are being spoon-fed. Right. And that's okay because, babies have to eat. But there will get to a point. And only some individuals, it's mostly those enlightened that wants to go higher and more, they'll realize that you're only going to get fed so much in church. But if you want to really take it and really go with it, then you're going to have to break away from that and find your way. And the way is the way that all the masters taught. Even Jesus himself taught the way. Okay, church came along and said that he is the way, but he's not. Okay, he taught that to live by the way, which the way is nature, what we call God, you know, to live, how to eat, how to act, how to think, how to do everything. You know, he taught us that. So,
you know, and there's one more statement in this comment that I really, really like. Anything that is divisive is not of God.
Absolutely. That was my favorite comment.
Statements, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Yes, and repeat that if you don't mind, Daphne.
Anything that is divisive is not of God.
Right. So, any examples?
Everything.
Yeah. First thing comes to my mind, religion.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, if your religion, like we said earlier, if religion makes you a better person and makes you to love and to love your family, to love your neighbors, to love life, love source, to love. You know, if you're growing, then, man, we're there with you, you know. However, like it says here.
You're separate from the Creator.
Right.
That's
if
not of divine origin.
Correct. If it says here, anything that is divisive.
Right.
So in other words, anything that divides is not of God.
Cops and robbers, us versus
Cops and
them.
robbers. No?
Right, and unfortunately, that's the way most of the world is now. It's, I'm separate from you, you're separate from me. There is no unity in anything.
No.
You know, everything in that we're taught in our modern world is divisive. It's that separation. You're separate from me, I'm separate from you. He, she, we. There's no we anymore. There's no unity in anything.
There are, you know, but
there's the very few that that live and believe this way. But that number's growing, and that's what we need, is to awaken the masses.
Right. And guys, we're gonna have to start with the youngsters. That's everything I'm seeing. You know?
Yes, of course.
We have to hit the youngsters because, you know, there's other forces at work right now that's targeting the youngsters as well. So you really have to wake up, even as parents, and get a grip on your responsibility with your, you know, with your children. Anyway, I wish I knew then what I know now.
Oh,
you know? But it's never too late.
Right?
We learn when we learn. You know, so
when the student is ready,
teachers shall appear.
That's right.
Moving right on along, the various Christian churches are very narrow in their belief structure. It's been that way for a very long time. Eventually, you will leave the church. What helped me leave was I was a Catholic. I looked into the saints' lives, walking through fire, levitation, remote viewing, and a lot of mysticism. I realized there was more than what the church taught. The more I looked, the more I fell away. You must travel your own path at your own speed and in your own way. Mm-hmm. That sounds like something Yoda would say. I like that.
Yeah. You know, I like this person. You know, in the different religions out there, you're taught not to do the research on your own religion.
I know.
But when you do the research on your own religion,
they get exposed.
It exposes the separation. It exposes the non-truth of what they're teaching. And this person themselves says that after looking into the saints, because they were Catholic, the things that these saints were doing is not what the church teaches the masses to do. Mm. So it's that separation that we were talking about earlier. You believe what we say, not what we do.
Yeah. And I really love how this person, right at the end of it, how they said the comment that you must travel your own path at your own speed and in your own way. We are all in this together, but we're all at our own, you know, our own pace, our own speed. You know, I'm going to be something that's going to draw me more to make me grow, but that's more with who I am as a person.
Right.
Yourself, you're growing and learning. This person's growing and learning. And that's what we all should do. And that's spirituality. You're growing as a soul, and you have that love and respect for everybody else to grow as a soul without that judgment, hey, you know, or the condemnation that you're going to burn in hell, or you're going to be condemned because you're trying to be a spiritual person, you see.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah. I love it. I mean, it's beauty in that. You just have to really, like you said, or this person said, walk your own walk.
Yes, indeed. Well, moving right on along.
Your heart is trying to tell you it's okay to be happy. You will have a certain resonance when you know something is right for you. Ask yourself how something supposedly is so demonic could make you feel such love and closer to the source of it. Oh my gosh, yes,
That's kind of what you were saying a while ago.
Yes, thank you.
That's some really good points here.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's many of them here. The first one that kind of sticks out in my mind. Well, it says your heart. You're going to have this vibration. It's going to resonate. You're going to know if something is good or something is bad. You just trust your gut. Trust your
intuition.
spirit, your intuition. It's going to let you know, hey, this is bad. Stay away from it. And really tune into that and, question whether or not it's something you should be messing with.
Exactly. You when you go into your heart place and operate through your heart place, you're gonna know. You're gonna have your intuition kick in. You're gonna have that gut instinct. A lot of people say that is demonic when you go to tuning into those things. But how is that demonic when it's keeping you from harm? It's helping you in all these ways. That is that true connection to source, letting you know that something is off.
That's right.
Or
that is
on.
Your natural instinct.
Right.
It's built in all of us. That's right. You're
Yes,
absolutely right.
Each and every single one of us have source within us.
And here's something, guys. Keep this in mind. Always. And it's this person hit that nail right on the head. Knocked it out of the ballpark. Okay. Ask yourself. Okay. If anytime you're dealing with anything, thank you.
Yes.
Just ask yourself. Okay. If this is something demonic, how can I feel so much? Why am I feeling so much love? And why do I feel so much closer to source and so much closer to people and so much? Why am I vibrating at a whole different? Do you feel like, oh God, I feel evil. I want to go harm somebody. I'm trying to be like a monster character there, but anyway, my impression there. Anyway, but the point is, you'll know whether or not something is,
the vibration, the resonation.
Yeah. And another thing is really, a lot of people, their whole vibrations are off. So, they really need to work on getting in tune with, this. We all need work. We're all a work in progress, So, some vibrations are so out of tune. I'm a musician, a producer and all that good stuff, but some instruments can be so out of tune that you got to just tune it to get it where it needs to go. Some, vibrate, little low, little, looser, a little tighter, whatever, a little higher, but they're kind of close in that same range. But some people, once you get tuned or get the vibration going and start tuning to like all the stuff we're into, this is all a certain frequency. There are people that are into the same stuff that we're into,
Right. And we are here to help awaken the masses. When we can raise that vibration, when we can get this knowledge in the forefront, our world will become a better place than what it is as we stand.
Absolutely. And always remember, go with your feeling.
Yes.
Feelings
Listen
on.
to your insides, your gut, your God within, your intuition, whatever you want to call it, the universe. I mean, come on.
Catch that next one for me, Miss Daphne, if you would, please.
The churches all say those things using fear as their tactic to keep you in the pews when they pass the donation plate. Power, control, and greed is no different than the government or the mob.
True. Well, this is kind of like saying what has been saying so many comments that the church is using fear tactics, and once you understand their tactics and what's going on, then it's like, I got a beautiful story I can share. I don't know. We don't really have a lot of time. I may share it maybe on the next episode if I can remember it, but it kind of ties in with the stuff here. But we'll wait because we've got time for maybe just a couple more, so we're going to take these last couple ones. But I'll share it with you guys later. But it just kind of ties in with with the churches and religion, kind of a personal experience. So, well, moving on along, we got time for a couple more. Let me go ahead and take this next one here. It says, this person says, yes, you have awakened. I, too, believe God is so much more than what organized religion churches preach. so much of what church preaches are man-made rules. I believe very much in God, higher power, but definitely not a controlling, punishing God. God is pure love. Believe in whatever feels right for you.
Yes, another person that gets it.
Okay, that sounds definitely kind of like, well,
Someone
like
who's
last one we
awakened.
had, yeah, you have awakened. And I think that's what all this comes to, Daphne. I think the awakening has to do with people who are starting to see through religion, who are starting to see through what the church has been doing. And, and especially here in the technology age, there's so much more things starting to come out. These people are getting exposed for a lot of stuff, these big corporations and churches and things like that, who for thousands of years really had a tight grip on people. But people are starting to wake up and realize, like, whoa, we've been hoodwinked. Mm-hmm. So, wow. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take one more, Miss Daphne. If you don't mind, go ahead and take that one, and we'll go ahead and give some comments on that. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. But we're going to go ahead and definitely going to do another episode on this.
Yes,
this
we
subject
definitely
while we're
will.
at it. So, but if you want to take that one, we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay, it says, I went through this too. Certain Christians tend to think everything is evil if it somehow doesn't fit into their agenda, where they can own it and twist it into their own meaning and device. But there are many things about the church that stole from much older religions and their beliefs, twisted it with new names, and tweaked stories to fit their agendas and use it for control. This is why I can't follow any one organized religion entirely and go by the spiritual wisdom given to me through my NDE. If it makes you confused and depressed, then it's not doing what it was intended to be through Christ consciousness.
Another person, from my perspective, this person gets it. Mm-hmm. So
when you can see through religion's dogma,
an agenda. I like how this person
the
brings
agenda,
out their agenda
that's behind it. When you can see through that, that's when your life is going to transform. That's when your life is going to change and become so much more fulfilled. So much more peace in your life. So much more love in your life. When you can see through that, it's life-changing.
Absolutely. Well said, well said. And to go with that thought, I like how this person here brought it out. Think about this, okay? Now, it says that they tend to think that everything is evil if it doesn't fit into their agenda. So, like it's brought out here, a lot of people, guys don't know this, but this, I'm telling you from my own experience, but I'm backing up this person here, what they're saying. All right. The Catholic Church has stolen so many different religious concepts, religious ideas, religious stories to create Jesus and the whole New Testament story. Okay. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. Okay. But hey, that's up to you, but don't get upset and just do your own research. Look into it.
The research is out there. You just have to question it. And if you're never questioning anything, you're not going to grow.
You won't grow. But this person here has been there. I can tell by the way they say it. It says that there's many things about the church that stole from much older religions and their beliefs. That's
this person's done their research,
or
either
true.
It was revealed to them through their NDE. One of the two.
Yes, it could be the actual near-death experience as well, because they did have an NDE. So this person is talking from experience. So anyway, when you look at it from that perspective, and how are they, or who are they, should I say, to try to control you? They've created, and it's just a religion, guys. We came into this world without religion. You're going to go out of this world without religion. You've got to understand religion is man-made constructs. Christianity, the church, is a man-made construct. It's a religion based on all kind of other religions that predated Christianity.
And this person knows that,
And they know this, So do your own research. That's a subject, for a whole different episode.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I like how they say, I said, this is why I can't follow any one organized religion entirely. I like how they say that entirely because, you can learn from all religions. I study all religions. I learn a lot from all. So I'm not dogging any of them out. But I don't choose to follow or to put a mask on saying, hey, I am and then fill in the blank. I don't have to. I just
Right.
have to be. I'm a human. I'm, like we say, part of the divine here, sharing life and exploring and experiencing life. You know?
You've been awakened to it. You've gained that knowledge, and once you're awake, you can't go back to sleep.
You can't.
On this topic. You cannot.
No.
Once you are aware of it and grow from that, you can't go back to the way things were. Looking like it makes me think of the parable of Yeshua talking about the kingdom. You can't go forward looking back.
Right. So
look back, get it done, then you can move forward.
Right. And the truth is, there really is only the here and now.
Exactly.
So let's close up with this very last sentence in this here, Daphne, and if you don't mind commenting on it.
Too.
And I want to leave this for the listeners out there, and we'll close with this particular quote here. And this person says that if it makes you confused and depressed, then it's not doing what it was intended to be through Christ consciousness. Okay? So if what you're doing, you're happy, you're good to go, you're growing, you're spiritual, you're loving more, great, guys, keep on going, keep on going. However, like this person who opened up this particular, group commenting post, they were kind of confused and depressed in a sense. But so like this person says, if what you're doing is confusing or depressing, if the church is telling you this one thing and it's going against who you are as a person and you're feeling very
conflicting
uncomfortable.
with what your spirit's telling you.
Your spirit's telling you one thing, yeah, and it's making you depressed, then go, just leave it. That the church only has authority over you that you give them. And in
Anything
fact,
or anyone.
Anybody. The only
Right.
authority or only power anything or anyone has over you is the power that you give them. Take your power back, guys. You don't need it.
Yes, we've said that many times throughout this podcast. Take your power back. Realize your divinity.
Yes. And love.
Love
Love. Yeah, harm none. And if you're loving, you don't have to worry about not harming. You don't have to worry about being a sinner or called a sinner or living like a sinner.
Feeling worthless.
No, because you don't identify as a sinner. And I'll even leave this quote. Jesus said, I didn't come for those who are already healthy. A doctor, those who are healthy don't need a doctor. He said, I came only for those who are sick. Well, that destroys the whole concept that he came and gave his blood and died for the whole world. No, that's not what he said.
Exactly. I mean, people don't even question that.
The Bible's loaded with comments like that, Daphne.
But the church says that he came for everybody, but he tells you he didn't.
No, he just came to show us
Do
those
the
who are lost.
questioning,
Yeah.
do the questioning, do the questioning.
Yeah. So, and that's what you do. So let's go ahead and wrap it up with that. Daphne, thank you so much for coming out and doing this with us today. And we love having you here and your wisdom and your knowledge. And thank you so much for coming out and being with us.
Thank you.
We got more coming up. So we're going to probably do a few more on this particular subject. And we got some really good people coming out and doing some really live interviews who actually had near-death experiences. I'm looking forward to those.
OBEs.
I've got this guy that's going to be coming in that we're working on some of his books right now and helping him get those published. And that he's got some really awesome stories of one of his books that we're doing is called Raised in Both Worlds. And he's been on both sides all of his life. So we're actually in the middle of one of his. We're doing 3 books, but we're in the middle of the one that we're working on right now. But he said whenever we get all these done, we'll definitely bring him on, and he'll be glad to share his stories with us.
I'm looking forward to this coming episodes. I really am.
Yeah. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you all, and help come out and support us again some more. If you we love to have you out and listening to us. And don't forget to go to the actual website. That's NDE.world. For more information on who we are and what we do and episodes and all that good stuff. So, Miss Daphne, any final comments?
Yeah, it's just that we love and appreciate each and every one of you. Keep on listening, supporting. We love you. We love sharing this information. So I hope it helps you to grow in every way possible and become that divine that you are.
Well said. We love you all so much. Peace be with you all. Till next time.
Y'all let your light shine.
For more information about the NDE World Podcast, visit nde.world. That's nde.world.